This video describes the game Line-Up 5. Line-Up 5 is a strategy game for 2 players. The game requires a number board, markers for each of the players, and 4 regular dice. The number board here is a 7x9 grid of numbers with the numbers 1 to 20 and 24 each appearing 3 times. To play the game, players take turns rolling the dice and then placing tokens on the board. A player can place up to 2 tokens during a turn on numbers on the board, provided that they can calculate those numbers from the numbers on the dice using each number on the dice exactly once. So for example, with the numbers that we see here, 3 times 6 is 18, so that would allow a player to place a token on 18. And 7 comes from 2 plus 5, and so the player could also place a token on one of the 7s. A player wins the game by lining up tokens 5 in a row, either diagonally, or left to right, or up and down. To decide which player goes first at the start of the game, each player could roll 2 of the dice, and the player who has a sum that's the highest would go first. So the blue player gets to go first because 2 plus 6 is bigger than 1 plus 6. So the blue player goes first, and they start their turn by rolling the dice. The blue player rolls a 1, a 2, a 4, and a 5, and they want to calculate 2 numbers, if they can, from these dice. They notice that 1 plus 2 plus 4 equals 7, and then 5 by itself, of course, is 5, so they can place a token on the 7 and the 5, which are side by side, diagonally, and so that's a pretty good start. That's a pretty good offensive strategy, right, because they're lining up 2 in a row. So play goes to the orange player, and they roll the dice. And the orange player rolls a 3, a 4, and a pair of 6s, and they notice that 6 times 4 is 24, and 6 times 3 is 18, so they place a token on the 24 and the 18 that are side by side over here. So the blue player takes a turn. So the blue player rolls a 1, a 3, a 5, and a 6. And they notice that 5 times 3 is 15. And 6 times 1 is 6. So they are able to place a token on the 15 and a 6. So now they have 3 in a row going one direction and 2 in a row going the other. Play switches to the orange player. So the orange player rolls a 1, a 4, and a 6. And 1 plus 4 plus 4 plus 6 is 15, so they could place a token on the 15. I should mention that a player can't place a token on a square that's already occupied, so this 15 would be off limits. But they could extend their line by placing a token on the 15 here. However, the orange player might want to play it safe and make a defensive move. Since the blue player already has 3 in a row, they notice that they should probably aim for the 8 or the 3. And 4 minus 1 is 3, which is a pretty good choice because that blocks the player from extending their pieces this way, and even if the blue player puts something on the 8, they aren't going to be able to get 5 in a row. So the orange player places a token on the 3 using those 2 numbers, and then using these other 2, 6 minus 4 is equal to 2. So play continues in a similar way, with the blue player and the orange player taking turns until one of the players gets 5 in a row. If none of the players is able to get 5 in a row, the winner could be decided in a different way. One way to decide a winner in that case would be the player who covers the most different numbers would be the winner. And in fact, a winner could be decided if someone places a number on all 21 of the different numbers, 1 to 20, and then 24, that could be another avenue for winning the game. So lineup 5 is the main strategy, but you could also try to cover up as many different numbers as possible as a way to break a tie or win the game outright by covering each of the 21 numbers. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoy the game.